Now the first and second windows have been fitted, I thought I'd do a little recap of the process. So we went with DDM Windows. So they came out and measured all the windows, and 9 weeks later the frames were ready and they came back to fit them. Now you'll have to excuse me in this video because I'm no window expert and I don't know the technical terms. But once everything was set up, it was time to start with the dormer window. So they started off by measuring the windows, and I kind of thought, God, if it's not right at this point, aren't we a bit screwed? But anyway, all part of the process. And then they drilled this bit of wood on, which I guess is for the frame to attach to. And once they checked that the window sill was all level, it was time to glue it into place. And they weren't being stingy with the glue here because, you know, we don't want the window frames falling out. And once the window sill was in place, it was time for the main event. So here they are lifting the window frame into place and giving it a bit of a bash to check it's in the corners, I guess, and making sure it's all level because, you know, we don't want wonky frames around here. And then once they were happy, it was time to drill them into place and seal around the edges. And then here's the frame all in place, and at this point I was really glad we went with the green. And I'm not sure the technical term for this bit, but it was now time to put the middle bit in where the actual glass is. And now I wasn't even involved in this part, but I was finding it quite stressful just from the sidelines because those window frames looked heavy, and I thought, what happens if as they're lifting it they drop it and it falls and smashes? But luckily it was them lifting it in, not me, so that didn't happen. And then once these were drilled into place, it was time to give it a squeaky clean, and once this was done, it was time for a final seal with some expanding foam around the edges. And then here's a little outside view of the end result. And then it was time to move on to the next room, so we're now in the dressing room, and here's a little before and after, if only it was really that quick. And then next up was the hallway. Now this one was a little bit different. I don't know the technical terms again, but they put the frame in and then they put the glass in after, and they kind of put these plastic bits down the side, which I guess was to like seal it. So here they are checking it's nice and secure, I guess, and then they put the other side in, which had already got the glass in. And then once that was in place, it was time to seal with the expanding foam. There are 5 more windows upstairs, but I didn't bother filming this because I feel like we got the gist at this point. So yeah, here's the final result. I can't wait to see it all come together when the ground floor's in as well.